Hi guys, so for today's lesson we're going to be dealing with graphing lines using the intercept method. So first up we need to know what our intercepts are. What do they refer to? So the x-intercept is the number where a line crosses the x-axis. Note the y-coordinate equals 0 for all these x-intercepts. And the y-intercept is the number where a line crosses the y-axis. So pretty much x-intercept is where a line intercepts the x-axis, and y-intercept is where a line intercepts or hits the y-axis. And note for the y-intercept, the x-coordinate equals 0 for all these y-intercepts. Okay, so consider the following graph. So see here, we can see that the blue line hits this x-axis here. It hits it at 4. This is where it connects. So therefore, the x-intercept equals 4. And for the y-intercept, where does the blue line hit this y-axis here? It hits it at -2. So that's the y-intercept. And just a really important point is to notice for this x-intercept here, notice that the y value of this point is equal to 0. And for the y-intercept, the x value equals 0 as well. So really important points to remember, that we're getting equals 0 because we're going to use that to find these x and y intercepts. Okay, so the intercept method, which we're going to be practicing today, it's a strategy that's used to graph straight lines where both the x and y intercepts are found and used to draw the line. So it's all relying on finding intercepts to draw these lines. So the strategy is, step 1, solve for the y-intercept by letting x equals 0, because that was a definite sort of characteristic of the y-intercept. The x coordinate has to be equal to 0. Step 2, solve for the x-intercept by letting y equal 0. So similar sort of thing. We know we've got an x-intercept when the y-coordinate is equal to 0. And step 3, graph the two found intercepts and draw a straight line through them. Done, and then you got your straight line. Note this method is very useful for equations where y is not the subject. So, like typically in the past, you may have dealt with ones like this: y equals 3x plus 2, where y is the subject, but that's not always the case. So this helps a lot with like these sorts of equations here, where you've got like y's with a whole heap of other stuff. Okay, so EG1, let's graph this equation right here. Using this method, this intercept method. So step 1, what we need to do, let's find the y-intercept, y-int for short, by letting x equal 0. So our x changes to a 0, and we simplify 2 lots of 0, that just vanishes. So we're left with just -3y equals 15. How do we get our y by itself to figure out what this y-intercept is? We'll just divide by -3. 15 divided by -3, y is equal to -5. That is the y-intercept of this line. So we already know one point on our line where it hits the y-axis. Next up, let's find the x-intercept by making y equal 0. So our y changes to a 0 here. -3 lots of 0, that just pretty much vanishes. So we're left with 2x equals 15. And we get our x by itself, divided by 2. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. That is going to be our x-intercept. So therefore, we know that it goes to the x-axis at 7.5, and we know it goes through the y-axis at -5. Because we know that these 2 points are on our line, we can pretty much make a straight line straight through those points, and we have graphed the equation. Make sure you label your line with the correct equation. So 2x minus 3y equals 15. Just the equation that we're trying to graph in the first place. Hope this helps with the questions. Good luck.